Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys, many things to mention, as always. Many stories to clarify, some behind the scenes also on the Ballon d'Or, and more to say. Let's jump into it together. And here we are, guys, always to talk about football transfers and more, always to keep you posted. It's been a busy week for Nottingham Forest with new head coach Ange Postecoglou today. First training session for Postecoglou, who signed until 2027 at Nottingham Forest. A new manager also at Fenerbahce to replace Jose Mourinho, and will be Domenico Tedesco, former Belgium head coach, ready for this new opportunity in Turkey as new Fenerbahce manager. Let me clarify also something regarding the situation of Zinedine Zidane, because there were many reports on Zinedine Zidane being a candidate for the Fenerbahce job, being a serious candidate in conversations with Fenerbahce. Well, guys, I can tell you that every time there is a big job available on the market of managers, Zinedine Zidane is always mentioned. Obviously, the name of Zinedine Zidane is always around because he's a fantastic coach. What he did at Real Madrid is absolutely incredible. He's a big name into football, so Zidane wants to return as soon as possible. So for sure, we always see his name around, but my information remains the same. The next step in Zinedine Zidane's mind is to become the new French national team head coach one day. Now we know after the World Cup, Didier Deschamps will leave his job with France, so he will be there for the next year, less than that, 10 months. So World Cup, and then time to go for Didier Deschamps. Well, Zinedine Zidane keeps thinking of the opportunity to become the new French head coach. So at the moment, I'm not aware of anything really concrete with Fenerbahce happening in the recent weeks. Again, Tedesco will be the coach now, but also in terms of behind-the-scenes conversations, negotiations, I'm not aware about that, guys. About Zidane being a really close candidate to the job at Fenerbahce. And also, Zinedine Zidane has always been in the rumors for several clubs, also in England, but Zinedine Zidane's priority is to be the French national team head coach as soon as possible. So this is the mission. We will see how it will go. I'm sure Zidane, who has always been a super respectful person, will not comment about that, will not discuss anything about that. We respect the French national team because he loves France, he loves this group of players, he respects the job of Didier Deschamps, so for sure he will not disturb the national team for the next year because it's a big moment. There is a World Cup. France are among the 3-4 favorites to win the World Cup, and so for sure Zinedine Zidane will not disturb. But I can guarantee that in his mind there is this possibility to go back into coaching as the French national team head coach, and so this would be the priority. I also got many questions, guys, about as we're talking about France, 22nd of September, Ballon d'Or in Paris, and many of you asking me about Real Madrid presence at the Ballon d'Or. Well, Marca and L'Equipe both reported that Real Madrid are not expected to be at the Ballon d'Or after what happened 1 year ago with Vinicius Jr., and I can confirm that this is the feeling internally at Real Madrid, not to show up at the Ballon d'Or, unless something changes in terms of conversations, in terms of clarifying the situation in the next days, because now the Ballon d'Or is quite close. Well, I don't see Real Madrid revisiting their position at the moment, because again, Real Madrid are still very upset for what happened 1 year ago. So the reports from Marca first, and then from L'Equipe about the Ballon d'Or are confirmed. Then we will see how this relationship will evolve. Then, guys, talking about transfers, I wanted to mention something. First of all, on Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson, because today Uli Hoeneß, part of the supervisory board and one of the most important people, influential people internally at Bayern, commented again on the Nicolas Jackson comments he made a few days ago, and he said it's just technically impossible for Nico Jackson to start 40 games because of all the competitions, but also because Nicolas Jackson will be at the AFCON in January, February, and so he won't be able to start 40 games. And this is why the obligation is not guaranteed. This is what Uli Hoeneß clarified. So there is an obligation, but Uli Hoeneß insists on this obligation not to be guaranteed for Nicolas Jackson. Don't forget, let me say, that Bayern strongly wanted to put a buy option clause. We don't have to focus only on the obligation. There is also a buy option clause for Nicolas Jackson, and so don't forget about that, because if Bayern pay a big loan fee for Jackson, it's not just to have a player on loan and then bye-bye in a few months. is to have the player on loan, is to see how Nico Jackson will perform, but if Nico will do well as they expect, there is a chance obviously for them to trigger the buy option. So the conversation is not just about the obligation, it's also about the option, and Bayern wanted to have that opportunity, so it's going to be up to Jackson, up to Bayern, but for sure the option is also there. Many questions on Ibrahima Konaté, guys. I already mentioned to you this story a few days ago and in the recent months, and I keep saying that Real Madrid have genuine interest in the situation of Ibrahima Konaté. Real Madrid don't want to upset Liverpool, so Liverpool will have the chance, for sure, in September, October, November, December, and maybe later, till the end of the season, to try extend the contract of Ibrahima Konaté. But despite this agreement being very close at the end of October, 1 year ago, basically, and then this conversation stopped because of new details discussed and no agreement between Konaté and Liverpool, Real Madrid internally keep thinking of Ibrahima Konaté, keep considering Ibrahima Konaté as a top target, and so Real Madrid will maintain for sure this name high on their list for 2026. So I just say, don't forget about their appreciation for Konaté. Don't underestimate their interest in Konaté, because Real Madrid are seriously interested in the player, but now the ball is still in Liverpool court. If Liverpool will be able to strike an agreement with Konaté and keep the player, they still have the possibility to do that. Because even this summer, Liverpool wanted to discuss again with Konaté, but still no agreement. Real Madrid, behind the scenes, looking at the situation, interested in the situation, and very keen on Ibu Konaté. So let's follow that story for sure closely in the next months, because Real Madrid and Konaté, for sure, the interest is still there, but again, this is up to Liverpool to see how they want to resolve the situation in the next months. And then, guys, Bruno Fernandes. I keep receiving many questions on Bruno Fernandes, because this summer we had several reports about Saudi. Guys, what I can say is that from Saudi, already 3 years ago they wanted Bruno, then 2 years ago, then last year, and they extended the contract, and this summer again, Al Hilal were pushing a lot to get Bruno. But you remember, exclusive story, it was end of May, beginning of June, I told you, Bruno is staying. Bruno decided to stay, Bruno decided to say no to Al Hilal and to stay at Manchester United. That was an exclusive bomb, because the negotiation was quite advanced for Bruno to go to Al Hilal. Now what I can tell you on Bruno Fernandes is that from Saudi they want to return in the future. So it's over between Bruno and Saudi for this summer, 2025. The market there is still open, but the story is completely over since end of May, when Bruno said no to Al Hilal. Then we had reports about Al Ittihad, but that was never a possibility. Al Ittihad in August for Bruno, completely fake. Now, for 2026, keep an eye again on Saudi, because they will return. Then it's going to be up to Bruno. Up to Bruno to say, yes, I want to come, or no, I want to stay in Europe, no, I want to stay at Manchester United, but from Saudi they want to return for Bruno Fernandes, and they keep the name of Bruno Fernandes in their list for the future targets. So I'm just saying, keep again a close eye to the situation of Bruno Fernandes, because from Saudi they want to return, but the full focus of Bruno for this season and for the near future is on Manchester United, and this is why he said no to Saudi, to Al Hilal, at the end of May. And so, guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Zidane to Bruno Fernandes, Konaté, Jackson, and all the rest. I wait for your opinion here in comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.